You prepared so seriously. Do you have any distractions like social media? Maybe some girl is proposed you, you proposed
Mm.
someone, anything like
Yeah.
that?
So nothing of that sort. No, there was something. So not exactly social. So yeah, something on the lines of social media. I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and even during my preparation, I had something of yeah. YouTube was one of my distraction, I'd say, and one of the reasons, as I told earlier, since it was my second attempt, and for me it was do or die. I had this thing that I made this point that every day, while it's not right to say that you should tell yourself that you are going to study this many hours and you measure that, but I was doing the same because I was doing it for myself. So there was no cheating of that sort that I have said for 4 hours, then I won't study. For me, I knew that if I have sat for 4 or 5 hours, have I worked for that 4 or 5 hours properly or not? Was it focused 4 or 5 hours? So I made it a point that every day I do, apart from the lectures and all, I do at least 3 hours of focused, maybe some PYQs and some deadlines I made because usually even I'm a procrastinator. I usually delay things a lot. So I just made it a point, maybe just make by maybe in the last 6 months that I have to solve at least 20 questions, 30 questions today of that sort. So some deadlines help. So I made deadlines for me. And this one thing was also there that I was constantly on a lookout as to what things I can improve. Improve means at what time I can utilize more. And I would usually look at, so I'll usually see what times I've studied and what times I can maybe optimize further. And I would just try that at least study at least I would not let my efforts like yeah. So if whatever I've studied yesterday, I was thinking that at least do whatever I'm doing yes better than something, maybe just half an hour more than yesterday. But don't let it go down. Don't let your graph go down. So breaks, I think I was avoiding breaks, and I precisely remember that I had two breaks. One break lasted for 1 week, and then I went to some relatives home, and it lasted for 20 days. I'm still regretting it, but I'm I'm still grateful that those were only two breaks that I took. But yeah, I was actually constantly monitoring how I was studying every day because that's how I was quantifying how better if I'm improving every day or not or something of that sort. One more thing was there. One more way I was quantifying was how many questions I was attempting. Let's say I was attempting every day. I'm doing 30 questions. How many questions I'm doing wrong, and also the reason for them. If I am doing, let's say out of 30 questions, 2 or 3 questions I'm doing something very unknown, then I'm studying them. And if I'm doing something very silly, I would try that next time. So the next day when I'm attempting that number goes down, that the percentage of the accuracy. Because I think in GATE, I would emphasize this very much that even if you attempt less questions, your accuracy is very important. In my first attempt, I had attempted nearly, I think, 5 or 6 less questions in first attempt, but the accuracy was very bad. I did a lot of mistakes that time. So accuracy is very important. So I was also tracking how much accurate I was every month. How, if my accuracy was increasing or not. If my accuracy, so I think computer networks was subject where my accuracy was constantly down and discrete also. So I did a full revision once, I think, for that because I knew that was going something wrong. So deadlines, so yeah, if you know your scores are getting bad, so your accuracy is going bad, then you need to up your game. So something of that sort. Just track, so I was just monitoring myself.
What are your mistakes?
Okay, yeah, I think I have a lot of mistakes to say. So, but I'll summarize it in some points. So I'd say, uh, okay, from a first year, one is overconfidence. You feel that you know the subject, and sometimes you just skip the question. Better to at least attempt a question or at least go through the subject because you might feel that you know it, and then when you're solving the questions, you don't. And the second one result of that overconfidence sometimes can be just seeing the question and just instantaneously writing the answers, like doing the answers. So I would say, so I made it a point that however fast I had to go, at least I reserved 30 seconds for every question. So for reading the question. So just read the question properly, even though you know the question, just read it properly. Sometimes for a given thing which you might have some notion of it being something, but they might have changed the definition. So I think it usually happens with the tree question where they'll tell the level, and there's two things in the tree, the level of the tree and the height of the tree. Sometimes that is confusing that they define it every time they have to define it. So it's better to go through the question 30 seconds if you that is the time. So it will save one from silly mistakes. And I'd say these mistakes sometimes can cause maybe more than minus 5 6 marks. So that is very crucial when you are when in the yeah when you are when there's a high scoring test and you just lost 5 or 6 marks but just because of that. So that is very crucial. And then other mistakes, I'd say consistency. I told I took two long breaks. I would, if I could again redo it, I would not have taken those breaks. So rather, what people should try to be consistent. At least make it a point that every week or some aggregate, they even if they don't feel like studying, they should at least revise it. If today if you don't feel like studying, you nothing. So just revise it, or maybe if you like, sometimes theory can be boring, do questions, because at least you'll be in touch with that with the subject. Because if you get out of touch with the subjects, you'll have to then up your efforts, like so do like two times the effort if which you did. So rather be in touch with this any subject which you're trying, and try to give exams. Sometimes I've seen people and yeah, some people have talked to me, and that is from my experience. And even I had it at one point that people don't attempt the tests if they have not completed the syllabus, and then they start attempting at the very start, and they'll think that in last
This is
one
the biggest mistake,
yes. Yeah, I think
because the people will think that after syllabus is over, then I will do the tests and all. But who knows? God knows when the syllabus over.
yes, that is true.
No one knows, na?
Yeah,
Because in between, let us that you got someone got some health issue. 1 month is gone. Then when the syllabus over?
yes,
So last
that
three
is
months
true.
you have a lot of
Because
tension. It will create a
yeah,
lot of problems. So my request and Gulshan request also to everyone, please do simultaneously practice and write syllabus completion both.
yes.
Complete subjects do PYQs.
Yeah, that is true. And actually, that also helps in one thing. So, while you're preparing, and when this strategy where you prepare completely and then start attempting the test, let's say in the last 3 months, you realize that there's some, because I think giving exam is also some kind of skill, which even if you know a lot of things, sitting in the exam and then attempting it, that is also something. So that is what you learn when you're attempting it even before completion. So by that time, by let's say you have completed the syllabus and you have given some test series, maybe you, and some people actually fear that they will get less ranks, that's why they don't attempt. Don't worry. I think if you're, let's say you have prepared out of, I think GATE 11 or 13 subjects are there. If you've just prepared 4 or 5 subjects, go to the exam and just make a time. Just say that if the 3 hour test series is there, you think you just make a time limit for yourself that maybe I'll complete it in 1.5 hour, and then just analyze those mistakes. Because the time limit thing, and that is also something simultaneously you will be be prepared for that in the end. Because yeah, who knows when the syllabus is complete, as sir is still telling. And sometimes you don't get the chance, so sometimes you don't get the chance to revise, and maybe at the last moment those mistakes that you did in your tests which you noted down, that might come in handy for you. So that is, I think, so one mistake that people should avoid. And I think consistency, I think I cannot emphasize enough on consistency. Please be consistent. 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you're studying, it differs from people, person to person. But please be consistent. Rather, please be consistent in your efforts. And what else? I'd say, yeah, I think, yeah, I think that's all. I think there are many, but majorly, yeah, I can remember only those.
So
And yeah.
you ever look so beautiful. So is there any marriage, something like that?
No, nothing of that sort. I just got the job. Maybe I'm happy because I got the job. Actually, I also completed my MTech. Maybe that's also
I thought some fishing is going on.
no, nothing of that sort.
I respect.
Uh, I'm very happy my MTech was completed. So yeah, that might be the reason. Really happy.
Okay, fine, perfect. So in your office, people knows you are a fourth ranker.
No, currently they don't. It's just 2 weeks since I joined it, but so no, they don't know.
Okay, okay, fine. And
One of
yeah,
the okay, so I just wanted to say one thing from my side, and it is that I feel very fortunate that in my office I'm actually working with people who have done BTech from IIT Bombay, and to be working with them. So they are also new joinees. I'm also new joinee. So for me, it's very for me. I could not do clear my JEE advance twice. So for me, it's something like I had never imagined that I'd be working with people who are from IIT Bombay. There are people who are from IIT Kharagpur did their bachelor's from them. Although I'm 2 years or 3 years older than them, but still chance to work with them. That's something very. I think that's the opportunity that I got through the gate. I'd say something of that sort. Sir, I also want to actually say one thing from my side. Usually, I after that is one thing I learned after doing an MTech. It is mostly for people who are coming. Some people who do a job and then who are attempting GATE, so something of that sort. So yeah, one advice or one thing that I wanted to say was the MTech research. At least in IAC, I know that there's an MTech research program, and after I completed my MTech, I feel that if someone knows that they want to pursue, they have very strong idea that they want to do their MTech in, let's say, computer systems or theory or maybe in machine learning. Uh, One should actually try for MTech research. People think that MTech research is only for people who rank low, but at least in the research level courses, there are less courses and more research exposure. So if someone is doing GATE just for PhDs, it's better to do an MTech research because the job opportunities will be the same. After that MTech research, they can also sit for the placements. They will have better projects and maybe some papers out of their MTech research. And that can help in the further PhDs. And I think that is more focused course. If you want to do a systems course, you'll get under a professor, and I think they have much better idea. So I was working in a lab in my college, and they were MTech research, and I know so I actually respect them a lot because they're that even though they joined with me same gate exam and all, but that kind of work they do, I think I would have wanted to do the same, but I was not clear whether to go to systems or machine learning. But I would say that MTech research is also a good course, and it is not only for people who get low rank. That is, if a person, if you know that you want to work in, let's say, operating system or maybe some broad idea computer systems or let's say machine learning, there that is also really good. Job opportunities are the same. Yeah, that's all from my side.
still remembered you. We both done a lot of fighting about. You said
That's
IASC, I
true.
want to go. I said to you, right, go to IIT Bombay. I want to almost send to you IIT Bombay, but you went to IASC Bangalore. Now, do you have any realization or no?
No, nothing. No
Still, you
realization. I'm very happy. I'm still very happy. But I think it mostly depends on what you want.
tried my level best to send.
Yeah, I think both are equally
Troll
good
me,
now. Since I've seen this.
you troll me, and you went to IASC Bangalore.
No, I think it's both equally good. So one advantage that I had was I completed my master's here. I got a job here, so I kind of am familiar with the city.
You are happy. That's more than enough to me. Right.
Yes,
Next, anything else? I think I asked all my questions. So, do you have
yes.
any other suggestions? Anything else?
No, I had only this thing to say about the MTech research program. Otherwise, I'm good. I think, and people, and there are people who want to actually. So MTech is good for placement. That's true. I think half of the people go for MTech in IIT. That's true. And if people want to come for research, I think they will if they are doubtful about it, because I was very doubtful. If I go to my MTech, it would be like my BTech where you score a lot of marks, but the kind of depth you want or some kind of research exposure that you feel, research exposure I won't say, but the deep insight that you get into the subject, maybe you won't get that kind of doubt. Please don't have that doubt, because when you come to the MTech and then these IITs or IICs, even some good NITs, these professors are really good. And if you work in that, so even if I'm doing a job here, at some point I also wanted to go to the research, because I was actually working with PhDs. That is in itself a very different experience. And maybe even if you don't go to a PhD, that kind of thinking that they have, that is something is unmissable. I don't think I can meet that kind of people who think that way. because outside in the job, people just want to solve problems. They don't spend and that is their I heard from my teammates also that they don't get to spend a lot of time solving one problem. So if people like solving problem, they want to test whether they want to do research or not. I feel that MTech is also a good program, and MTech research is always there. But if people are not sure, MTech is also good. And and surely they will get a good experience. There are really good professors in IISc and maybe IITs, even NITs. So that's really good experience, and it's worth your time. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.